Welcome to the review of Resident Alien Season 2, Episode 1. Now we're going to start this show off with a 100% rating, and then we're going to mark off points for everything that's stupid and woke until we get to our final tally. Okay, but I might add some points if there's something super funny or awesome in it to boost the points back up. We shall see. When we last seen Harry, he was well on his way back home to his home planet, stowaway in tow. We start off with Harry and the boy driving in his truck, and Max wanting to turn around and go home. They don't show them in the ship moving farther away from the Earth. Now, there could be two reasons for this. One, it could be a funny, artsy way of playing on Harry's lost memory. Or two, they didn't have the budget to show more CGI spaceship crashing scenes again. And this is where we get our first "What?" They would have us to believe that a tiny 40-pound sack of potatoes managed to overpower a 6.5-foot tall alien and sabotage the controls of the spaceship to render it uncontrollable and crash land back on Earth.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I buy that. Uh-huh.
-3 points. Asta, thinking she is to tell the boy's parents that the government has stolen her child, goes to let them know, and only to find him safe and sound making pancakes. Max has something to tell Asta at the ball field, but not before his parents get a little freaky.
Save me, Dad.
Believe me,
little baby needs
they have
saving.
not yet begun to freak.
Needs to be saved.
Oh,
Yeah, I
baby,
do.
you
I'm
okay?
scared.
You
So
scared?
upset.
You upset?
Well, I
Your
should
tummy
just...
upset?
Yeah, don't walk her out.
Okay, open up. Go.
They meet at the ball field, and Max shows Asta the cloaked spaceship that crash landed, and it only managed to create a spaceship-sized dirt mound. They literally dropped in some dirt in an oval pattern to outline where the ship would be, and there's no signs of where a ship would have crashed. Skid marks, ruts, ditches, none of that. It's just a big mound. This is amateur hour. I'm really starting to think they dug around in the casting couch for spare change to budget this show. -6 because this annoyed me so freaking much. Now, having taken a bump on the head and waking up in the hospital, Harry has forgotten about his secret identity and just starts telling everyone he's an alien.
I'm an alien. I'm here to kill everyone.
Why? Don't know. You would think that if he couldn't remember who he's been, he would be reluctant to reveal who he is and what he's doing.
Giant human boob, and your son is the nipple.
But no, he spills the beans with relative ease. Don't worry, he's got a bump on his head, so he's crazy and everything is okay. -1. Asta discovers where Harry is and what's happened to him. She gets there in time for him to wake up with his scrambled brain, who thinks they are characters in Law and Order.
Who's Harry? I'm Detective Lenny Briscoe.
Meanwhile, back at the ship, Max is trying to keep people away from it, and it just so happens that two burnouts with skateboards want to walk across the field in the exact spot the ship is. Why? Because the plot needed the little Muslim girl to save the day and say this.
I'm quick on my feet, which will be great when I'm the first person on Mars. Not first woman, first person.
-10 points. Now the freak is ramping up with Max's parents as they try to describe the people that held him at gunpoint in the first season. As a refresher, they were psychotic government agents looking for the alien. It seems the straight-laced progressives get off on being violent.
I was really hitting her mostly from behind.
Oh, hell yeah, you were. He was amazing. Should have seen him. It was so hot. You know how it is when your man just takes care of business.
Yeah, it takes all kinds, right?
Okay, I am so turned on right now. I just want to rip your clothes off.
Next, we get a glimpse of Max trying to call Asta to let her know there's a baseball game happening at the baseball field. Who would have thunk it? But Max comes off looking dumb.
We've been compromised.
What? What do you mean?
What does that mean?
And diverse Muslim girl saves the day with her superior intellect. intelligentio. You are woke! -5 points, darling! Now, we have a nice little scene with Harry and Asta in the restaurant in an attempt to make Harry remember who he is. The jokes here are okay, not the greatest, but a nice little bright spot in the middle.
I was working a homicide case at Tony's on Greenwich. Do you know the place? Johnny Sourdough died face first in noodles like this. 1 in the brain, 2 in the balls. Shooter had daddy issues.
Harry keeps hearing someone talking at him from behind, so he gets up to see who it is, and it's none other than an octopus. Well, it's an octopus voiced by one of our favorite space captains, Nathan Fillion. I didn't know this until the second viewing, so +3 for Malcolm Reynolds. Harry and Asta arrive at the ball field just in time to stop the right fielder from bumping into the ship and exposing the hidden truth. Finally, Asta has to pull a MacGuffin from the power box that runs the lights to end the game. Guess they couldn't afford an electrician to tell them
This is some bullshit.
-2. In an attempt to fix the ship, Harry causes severe power fluctuations in the town's power grid. And when the power gets freaky, so does Max's parents. They have reached peak freak, and I gotta tell you, it was just a bit awkward. Harry couldn't fix his ship, and it being in an open place, he had to sci-fi it and turn it into water, which means he's trapped. Unable to leave, he makes his way back to the cabin where he finds Max waiting for him. Being angry at Max for causing the crash, he lashes out and makes things weird by spanking him and getting into an I know you are, but what am I match. Yeah, I'm knocking 2 points off for this weirdness. Asta and Darcy meet up and go on an impromptu tandem bike ride and cuddle each other talking about bad boys. I know they are best friends, but I have this nagging feeling they'll be scissoring by the end of the season or the series. I just don't trust you, Sci-Fi Channel. Asta then goes to see Harry only to find him laying face down in the water. Don't worry, he's part fish, and that's how he gets away and likes to think. I know when I need to clear my head and think about stuff, I like to stick my face in a giant puddle of dirty lake water.
I guess that explains the weird talking octopus.
All octopuses can talk. They just don't like talking to humans. Number 42 only talk to you because you are with me.
His name is number 42?
On the menu, octopus in black bean sauce, number 42. And you wonder why they aren't speaking to humans.
Who wrote that? Who? Which one of you people wrote that?
Hit that director in the face. Really fucking hard.
If your octopus could talk to you through telepathy, yeah, I know you have one, would you eat it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Then they have a heart-to-heart about home and family, kith and kin.
The spirit of the Griswold family Christmas.
We finally end the show with Max getting undressed to go to bed and discovering a massively hairy chest. Screaming in surprise, his parents come running, but he manages to cover it up just in time and tells them he saw a mouse. But the freak show continues as his parents were in the middle of being sexual deviants and apparently don't really care if the kid knows about it or not. -4. The first episode out was lackluster at best and disappointing at worst. The writer seemed like he was phoning it in from an airplane at times and didn't translate well to the half-wits on the ground. The special effects department must have been locked in the porta potty for most of this episode. I refuse to believe there's nobody with half a brain in Hollywood that could point out the glaring stupidity. I take it back. I know this is probably a low-budget Sci-Fi Channel show, but I don't remember the first season being this low quality. This may be a fluke. This may be a sign of what's to come. We shall see. This episode lands at 70%. Nothing special here. It's just average.
Yeah, well, so's my Johnson.
Tune in next time when we hear Harry say,
This is some bullshit.